How long? How long will you wait before you allow your goals, your ideal life, and what you want to be true to take center stage? How long will you wait? What's the gap? What's in the way? Where's the obstacle? These are all questions that I usually ask people when they come to me and they say, hey, I'm ready for this next role, or I'm ready for higher levels of leadership, or I'm ready to launch this next business, or I think I am. Here's the thing. When we talk about what steps they're taking to get toward their ideal state, oftentimes we come up with this idea of movement versus motion. Today, we're going to talk about what is the difference between the two. What are some questions you can ask to diagnose where you're at? And of course, as usual, what is an action that you can take? But first, let's go with a quick definition. Motion is activity that feels productive, but it doesn't change anything. Yeah, it feels good, but it doesn't actually change anything. Whereas movement is action. Something actually shifts because you did something. You get into a conversation because you applied for a role. You start to actually have things move because you took an action. What is the difference? Well, motion might ask, well, am I prepared enough? Am I ready? Whereas movement might ask, what's the cost of waiting yet another month, week, year, etc.? And let's not forget, motion is seductive. How do you know? How do you answer? How have you been? Oh, I'm busy, 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 busy. Have you ever been on a plane before? People say, oh, I'm here, I'm there, I'm going to all these different places, I'm busy. We like to feel important because we're busy. But the truth is, if it's not getting you any closer to what you want to be true, then it's probably not helpful. So let's get to those 3 questions. And here they are. The first thing you can ask yourself, if I stopped doing this activity tomorrow, would anything actually change? Would it actually matter? And be honest with yourself. What's the answer to that? If you stop and nothing shifts, then you're probably not moving. You're performing progress, not actually making it. Now, the next question that you can ask yourself is this. Am I researching to decide, or am I researching to delay? Sometimes we can consider, to think about, to comprehend, to someday do something, and ultimately, during that time, we talk ourselves out of it. Our self-doubt takes over and we never actually do anything. We have these grand visions in our head, but they never actually see the light of day. So that's something to be aware of. The next thing is, if a friend were coming to you and asking you about this action, and if it was actually movement or if it was motion, what would you tell them? A lot of times we can see other people's scenarios and situations much better than we can see our own. So what action can you take? What is that thing that you've been wanting to do? You know what it is. Pick something you've been preparing for and take one small irreversible action, something like sending an email or making the post or having a conversation. And don't do it because you're ready, but do it because waiting is costing you more than you think. And guess what? Your goals, your dreams, your ideal life, they deserve to take center stage. My name is Lila Jones. I spent the last 20 years in tech. I teach people and organizations how to manage through change and transition. Every Tuesday, I write about this stuff. You can follow me below, join my newsletter community, because I would love to be able to help you prioritize what matters for you. See you soon.